This is the most basic looking YouTube entry, probably the least attractive. No graphics, no overlay, no nothing. But me going live, which I've been kind of completely ghosting from social media. And once you know it, today is the first day that I decided to rejoin the droves of social media. I have my own personal reasons to wanna, maybe not always the best means of. I don't promote. I don't promote. Sometimes I just on a whim decide I need to disconnect, and I do that in my own way. And sometimes things only have to matter to us, the individual who's making the decisions, not so much to everybody around us. So, to those of you that care about me, thank you. I've seen people reaching out, trying to get answers. I'm okay. We all face our own brick shit house, so to speak. And I'm going through some shit, you know, but I digress. Nothing that I'm going through. What's up? Yeah. Now remember who you are today, my friend. It is a very sad day. That's what actually prompted me, obviously, to come on here. I wish I would have seen Josh's text earlier, so we could have done an appropriate some kind of show. But let me stay on cue and on point here. And what the thing that drove me to hitting the live button, because I'm on in counting. I think I'm going on what, day 4, day 5 of not even checking any social media, no Instagram, no YouTube. Oh my God, it started to feel like the sanity started to restore. But then slowly, you start to hear the news in the background, or you hear people that you pass by, or you have to engage with every day, and the whims of the whispers that come from the media. And there's a lot of hatred out there right now. From I appreciate that. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm going through something, but I decided to step out of myself to just talk about what I'm seeing and what's really concerning me. First thing, the poor victim of the very first thing that is highly polarized and politicized, and it puts a hatred in my heart. It makes my veins feel like they're filled with bile. It makes me feel it almost makes you feel like you're turning into kind of like a werewolf, like you are losing your humanity as you watch things just get more aggressive, more violent. The first case with the Ukrainian migrant or immigrant, whatever the case, all of the polarization just takes a seat back to the reality of the heinous act. And what I don't understand, and I never wanted to be. I mean, look at my fucking name here. I never wanted to be the one that said, "Oh, those damn libs," like I did when I was liberal, because I was. I would always be the first to jump on those damn conservatives. And I did that, and then I outgrew it because of an amazing show called Stuck in the Middle. I had to research all of the claims that were force fed to me, and then I would just parrot them. And because of the research I did, oh my God, I broke out of this progressivism ideation after Bernie Sanders got burned and all this shit. The story I've told too many damn times. Nina Turner, Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, cowards that I used to blindly defend and idolize, that were nothing but shills and panderers. And they are the very causation and the party of complete intolerance, and the irony cannot be lost on them, but they're in on the game, so they benefit from it. They are literally making money off of all of the fake compassion, sympathy, and rage baiting they do, the gaslighting, these little words that never existed throughout our history that are now in our lexicon, our vernacular. Gaslighting this and I don't know, woke. I mean, I'm sure you can think of a few words that didn't exist not long ago that are just everywhere now. Buzzwords, social media, compartmentalization of just everything. So all right, before I get away from myself here, the way the first case was handled, I don't understand how a violent criminal with any mental illness issues is released 14 times, without cash, no cash bails, 14 times. I don't know how many convictions. The dude has a rap sheet, and somehow CNN or some stupid pundit says this was the man hurt people, and we're supposed to feel bad for the man that committed the act instead of the victim who literally bled out, and nobody did anything. If you watch the whole footage until, I don't know, 90 seconds, one man ran in after everybody just watched her bleed out. And then here we go to today. I'm going through my Facebook and I still call some of these people friends, and I don't want to. This is where I'm falling into the whole divide and conquer thing, because I want to snap at some of the people that I grew up with and what I see them saying, and I don't understand how so many years can pass and we're supposed to somewhat get matured and smarter. I really thought smarter came with it. It's amazing what we fall for and what we think when we're younger and we look at people that are older. And I don't know where we get this idea that people are smarter, but I took a snapshot of one post because I can't, oh my God, this makes me sick. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to dox anybody. I didn't even intend to. This guy's been on one. Let me go to the first one real quick because I cannot believe already, like, the dude's Charlie Kirk's body wasn't even cold, and already memes are circulating to justify why he should have been completely just assassinated. Shame on all of you. Shame on that. Can I just say it's every Democrat, because that's the dangerous generalization? Can we kind of concede that there's the pocket of the progressivism, but I'm so blind with anger at this point because I'm just tired of seeing this hypocrisy. They are the side that always wants to play victim and get the sympathy, yet they have none to give, ever. All I'm seeing is condemnation. They're circulating a quote where he says, and they want to add as much context to make it look like it's okay to say this man died for what he believed and he wouldn't have it any other way. That's literally what some of the people are posting right now, and it's really pressing me to break a friendship after many years. Crystal, some people that you and I knew from middle school to present are just going off at the mouth, and they're literally sudden. I don't know how it becomes about them when Charlie Kirk lost his life, and like the conservative base, people that maybe think just differently on this conservative side, the right side. I hate saying that I'm even on a side, but I abandoned the whole progressive idealism a long time ago. Just the namesake I thought would be a symbol of unity or an attempt at that. And that's something that Charlie Kirk, at the very least, everybody that's known him and watched him and followed him has said the same thing. He had the balls and the conviction to go up to you, be it at your home or your university, in your safe space, in a safe space. The irony that he goes into the safe spaces for the, damn it, I'm going to do it, the liberals of their coveted safe spaces, but it's only safe if they dictate you are allowed to be safe in them. Those are the very people I'm watching, completely adult age here, 40-year-old people making memes like children and posting them and saying he had it coming. A friend of mine that is black. I'm not going to sugarcoat any language. I don't who cares about being canceled. Charlie Kirk went around unapologetically to open up a debate, and he would make liberals look bad. And here's their retort. Here's their response to end his life. 31 years old. That's a fucking shame. That's a crying shame. And how are so many people able to forget humanity and the value of life in a short span because this man's death somehow aligns with your political ideation, your ideology, since you disagreed with him, mentally speaking, intellectually speaking, and verbally, ergo, he deserved what was coming. Are you kidding me? Are you? And I see the left is responding to some of the rights, calling out like, okay, this is the FAFO moment here. We're gonna show y'all a little something. And the left, my friends, I'm so tempted to like say a name. What's the harm in the first name? Bobby, you reckless, stupid motherfucker. You keep on posting. I know some real soldiers that these fucking righty porky pigs, they don't know nothing about nothing. They would cower. And the left can't fucking meme because they're going on about how they are the true comrades that are ready to go up in arms. Like, get the hell out of here. Now, let me take a pace and breathe for a moment as I rail on and manically vent because I have stepped away from all of social media. I'm sick of it. I'm quite sick of it altogether, and I really either a break or I just don't care, or at least I find myself to be in an algorithm I don't care much for, but at least there's some level of control if I acknowledge that I have it, but I can't forget that, or I will lose hope in using my voice in any which way. I truly hope, I've not been the greatest man of faith, but as mentioned, Charlie would be with, the Savior, with Jesus, with God. I mean, if there was anybody that I ever thought was deserving of it, he would go into the lion's den and he would speak, regardless of how it would be perceived. I hate Discord. I don't use it. It is just something that breaks in and makes sounds in the background. Okay. Here's the specific one that I wanted to find. This was shared like literally 5 minutes after we got a confirmation that he was gone. Okay. So my old friend from middle school, high school, she is on the spectrum, cisgender female, but big on the alphabet soup people. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get flack for that. I love you to who who you are, because I know you listen to me at work after the case. I'm just saying what I feel, and if you want, you can reach out to me. Don't just hear me on here. Bear in mind there's emotion. I care about you, and I don't want to fall into the fraction and division that I'm seeing literally in real time. And that's kind of the power of staying disengaged. What's up, Snooks? Staying disengaged from social media is that you can look from the outside and be a bit more unbiased or take some more data in, so to speak. And I just can't believe it does look like if you're just staring in social media all day or for a few hours, you're convinced civil war is going to be tomorrow morning. The Civil War is already being, like, the lines are drawn. So, okay, feminist news. Let me read. Oh, God, let me not show her name. I don't know what this has to do with. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of feminist news shares on my old friend's things to remember about Charlie Kirk. He said it was a, quote, huge mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act in 1964. He blamed Jewish money for ruining American culture. He said gay people are destructive and endorsed having them put to death. People, if you're going to share this kind of shit memery, Occupy Democrats. Yeah, okay. I remember when I shared Occupy Democrats crap on my own little, jaded endeavor and that part of my life. Not big on the citations. Provide the links and or receipts. It's so easy to look at a screen cap, watch full clips. This is the problem with people on any other side. And by God, since I'm going to focus on liberals right now, especially the ones I know that I still call friend, and that's such a frail, thin thread that is snapping, I wish you would take the time to look into the work this man put into saying whatever it is he said that is now easily clippable, soundbiteable, and now you're using it in the context the day of his death to try to demonize him to nothing more than your own echo chamber. You don't care with what people like me that are going to say or think. You've established that. You're at the age already where I don't think your minds are as malleable as they once were. You're very set in your ways. To those of you I'm thinking of, to those of you I've been viewing on the boomer Facebook, as I'm told, I'm a boomer for using it. And just these are not the people I knew. And it's showing me the division that is increasing and how volatile things are, that both sides are provoking almost war, but I'm seeing more grace, by God, from my friends on the right, dare I say, let me see if I'll have to apologize to him, or I'll have to let him know. This was somebody who met me when I was a progressive, and we hated each other, but there was some kind of a mutual respect. And he said some wise words. And so far, out of all the posts, it's the only one I've agreed with. I can't. I'm struggling a little bit. Let me do this since I don't have StreamYards on. Hold on. My old buddies. Okay. His last name is Hennessy. No, for real. His last name's Hennessy. All right. I think I can stand to read this here, because it's the most non-violent post I've seen. And to me, he's always been one of the most radical right people, right wing, MAGA, whatever people. Like, I used to hate this guy, and oh my God, little did I know when we met and would debate ad nauseum, that I would find myself speaking the same principles, and right now just seeking his words. This guy, how much we'd fight. And this is where I'm seeing wisdom, not from the tolerant, bleeding heart, you know, liberals and or Democrats. I'm seeing nothing but attempts to justify that Charlie Kirk was ended today. A very outspoken, proud Christian man, and I hope the liberals, or the people that, fuck them. All right, I hope the left knows what they're playing with when you go after something like this. I saw another post and meme. Charlie Kirk is not a martyr. He's just a product of this, that, or the other, blah, 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 yada, yada. You did exactly that. You made him a martyr, and you are making him even more dangerous in death than he ever would be in life. That I won't co-sign to that, because he was so good at speaking, so much so that he inspired me to kind of keep going with this. Anytime I dip my toes into the politosphere, watching people like him, I'm not going to say he's the one that inspired me wholeheartedly, but he has been an everlasting imprint and inspiration for me to keep on engaging with the other side. And when the other side takes out people like that, they're trying to bridge the gap and still use these words. You're fucking familiar with them, right? Words. When you take that out of our arsenal, we're going to have to. Let me read the damn words. Okay, this is not the time or the person to memorialize by offering weightless and restrained thoughts. The left, the supporters of this assassin, and the people celebrating his death aren't going to be quiet. Why are you? This guy understood the meaningless, weightless world that exists in social media and mass broadcast, which is why he spent his time in the real world defending real world issues in front of real world people. And the same things he denounced and stood up for are what took his life. Violently. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the crazy clips and footage going out, but this is. I was going to make probably a very distasteful correlation. Be canceled. He took it in the neck. The woman who I'm doing a disservice to by not giving her name. I'm sure it's been posted everywhere, but remember, I've taken my little vacation from social media, and I'm just deciding, out of just, I don't know, passion. Oh, fuck you, Discord, to speak my mind. All right. Which is why he spent his time in the same people that he openly and freely invited to debate and discussion. Okay. Killed him. No, they weren't all the armed assassin, but our world has clearly become us versus them. No matter what side of us and them you think you're on, be enraged, be vocal. No matter what side you think you're on. Well, I hope the left don't take any more fucking liberties, like they just continue to do to justify any time that they have violence on their end. All right, I'm not here to react to your message. I said I'd share it. Act the same way in real life as the persona you want to make for yourself on the internet. Oh, the truer words. idolizing demonic thuggish celebrity, celebrating mental disorders, entertaining ideas and efforts to disarm our society, marginalizing the majority to create a false utopia for the outcasted few, contributing to large business while it drains our soul and well-being, allowing our government to grow so corrupted it becomes an enemy, repressing your own beliefs because it would be a bad look. Shit, calling me out right now. Abandoning your own kind to feign an empathy and belonging with people that never wanted you to side with them to begin with. Yeah, for better or worse, though, to the people that we agree on damn near everything, but for whatever stupid little reason, like watching, and I'm well aware what algorithm I'm in, watching the little cancel wars between Triple T and Dagburn, even though I think Dagburn is completely in the wrong, I think is such an example of how social media has rotted our fucking brains, and that's all that they've been going on for I don't know how many days that I've been offline, and these two individuals are just dedicating their entire lives to canceling one another. Fuck Dagburn for life. He had a chomo on his panel and defended him. Fuck him. And that's it. Done deal. Stop giving him oxygen. Look at more polarizing events in our fucking world right now, please. Okay. Sending your kids to school. Uneasy because you know what they're being taught. Knowing the influences on them from kids with psychotic, deluded parents. Knowing that it's an uphill battle to make them survive childhood. Listen to that. Survive childhood. Crystal, my darling from, my God, 1997. Back then, it didn't feel like we were surviving childhood. It felt like we were thriving through it, which is what it should be for the future generations and the current one. They should not be deprived of a happy childhood, and just the environment and then everything is so fucking overwhelming and sadistic and sad and evil. At least, again, sitting from the outside, I can't speak. I'm no parent. I can't really judge, but I can only share, through my perception and what thoughts breed as a result of that. And the things I do see get me more and more disenfranchised and more just completely. I don't know if we're worth saving, but by God's grace, we have to relearn. We have to relearn. And just the irony, like once I tell him it's his words I chose to read, he's going to have a laugh at my expense. And I'll invite him up for a panel and he can roast me for this, for all the years that I spent when I was rooting for Bernie Sanders and he told me what a fool I was. I'm sure he'll appreciate that, Mr. Hennessy. I'm sure you will. Abandoning religion in favor of pop culture. Allowing things to go on as long as it's not on my doorstep. Weeping for that, going as far with the Ukrainian migrant, that beautiful woman, not on my doorstep. Those three individuals that were in the back, I won't go as far as saying they're culpable, but my God, how long does the shock stay when the threat is removed? And at that point, you're just watching somebody die. I don't know why it took as long as it did for the man in the front to run up and start to render some type of aid and call 911. And this is very dangerous and scary. And so I'm gonna repeat this quote that I remember. And apparently this quote was released from some mainstream affiliate, NBC. So fucking come for me, whatever the case. But apparently, look it up. There's audio. Somewhere there's audio. Somebody with, I don't know, filming or a video on the bus. So I'll say allegedly, but please fact check. Please fact check. I could do this live right now, but I'm going to finish this message. It's on the audio. It says, "Got that white chick." And for me to add that, I in no way want to be a part of the race baiting and the, this online civil war that just, it seems so frail in terms of the restraint in the real world. I mean, all of that, all this hate and vitriol for one another can only sustain itself so long contained in this box before it spills out to our neighbors. Another one of my close friends, when I was a DJ, he was a DJ. He's been on the right. He's been open about him being a conservative with values that align with a conservative. And he posted today, after seeing all this shit, he's always been very reasonable, that he, straight up, if you're a friend of mine that and you identify with the left, period, I will not turn my back to you. And then at the end, he ends his post with, matter of fact, I don't even know if I should call you friend. Like, that's how serious this division is. So on top of the sorrow that I wish we would focus on, without social media, I wonder if we would be so quick to run to this hatred and almost to let our own echo chambers know, hey, I'm still on your sides, guys. We're still in this together, right? We're just gonna never challenge each other and circle jerk our way all day, every day. So we're just always feeling vindicated and self-righteous in our thoughts. Because a challenge to my opinion is a challenge to my ego, and I can't deal with that. Oh no. That's so stupid. Okay, let me close this message from my old friend. Well, okay, yep, that's a good point. Allowing things to go on, okay, doorstep, because your visible outrage wouldn't please your neighbor, walking past your neighbor's anti-American lawn signs and then waving at them with a smile as you garden, knowing that people you love may end up in a war because that same neighbor has an ignorant, empty passion for a conflict that they don't understand, wondering who may throw a brick through your front window because you're flying an American flag in this country, and that being a true statement should be alarming to the core, no matter what side you're on. And that's the biggest thing I have right now against the left. I don't think you realize what the fuck you're fighting for. Being so pro-Palestine, Hamas, this and that. Look, I don't take my Jewish heritage that serious that I'm ever going to defend somebody like Bibi/Netanyahu. I have nothing but disdain for Netanyahu. The right for Israel's sovereignty or safety is a fact. It's a fucking fact. But I won't say they're doing anything perfectly. But the fact that somehow the left can seamlessly adopt a literal terrorist organization like a la Hassan fucking Piker and Twitch becoming such a part of Hassan's facade online that they are now a streaming service of terrorism. He has gone on to not condemn, but applaud Houthi pirates, Hamas, saying his favorite flag was, I forget, but it's not the good kind, okay? Nothing but people that want to see dead Americans and dead Jews. YouTube probably doesn't like those two words too close together, but that's the facts of the matter. And hey, left, I don't care how gentle you think your all-inclusive ideology is, this is what you're all co-signing to. I wish you'd do a little bit more research instead of just this confirmation bias circle jerk that you all seem to do day in, day out. And I know, and I accept that this could be pointed at the people on the right. But right now, or shit, in recent history, I haven't been seeing the right make GoFundMes for literal murderers. Okay? Did you know the guy that attacked the Ukrainian migrant? They made a fund for him. She raised $85,000. I'm sure that's tripled by now. But they made one for him. That piece of shit. That man that 14 cashless bails, 14 of those, okay, and a lifetime of being a career criminal, and they raised money for him. Thankfully, GoFundMe shut that shit down. And Carmelo Anthony case, that's another case. Questionable reasons as to why this attack was committed, and I'm not going to deal with this with any kid gloves here. That was another case of an escalation to an act that cannot be justified with self-defense. Fuck you if you believe otherwise. And the way that the poor victims' families are treated and in the public and by the left, you guys are losing any claim to sympathy and or empathy. Because where I thought the party of hearts and minds was clearly was just a part of the brain rot and the brain swipe that occurred. And I think I feel something damn close to regret of how many years I gave to going door to door in a trailer park in fucking Florida, a red state, asking people to vote Bernie Sanders. You know what? I wish I could go back and thank every person, especially some of the Russian people, yes, in trailer parks in Florida, that answered. Like there was one woman that was Russian. She answered the door and said, "You should be very careful what you find yourself endorsing out here." And then she started to give me a little education on communism. But to me, I thought, oh, communism, there's some off-brand version that exists in America. What was it I used to call it? Uh, democratic, not okay, communism. No, I never used the word communism, but there was a term that Bernie Sanders coined to almost make a soft serve version of communism infiltrating the United States. And that's the only reason I adopted it, was to help my arguments boast for better medical care in this country, which I'll still say is my most and only progressive value anymore, is mental health care, or just healthcare in general in this country. It's far too hard for just a regular working class person that's like just struggling to remain middle class or whatnot get the help that's necessary. And then you wonder why shit goes crazy and pops off. But even still, there's no fucking excuses. And by the way, mental health should not be synonymous with a goddamn pass. Pardon my French. That's what happens when outrage takes over. It should not be a fucking pass or an excuse for what any assassin does. By God, forgive me. It's insane that people are saying like that. That was the talking point on mainstream media. Hurt people, hurt people. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious right now? I'm supposed to empathize, and now I'm supposed to point the finger at everything else except for the man that literally had the weapon that ended the woman's life. Hurt people, hurt people. I hope he gets the death penalty at this point. I hope it is bumped to a federal fucking crime at this point. Stop being silent. He wouldn't have been. That's where he ends the words. I didn't deliver this in a very poised manner. I'm probably a little manic because of the amount of time that I've stayed off of social media. And I think everybody can understand on a very human based level why anybody would decide, like, oh, it just feels like too much. Or sometimes I just feel myself getting too damn pulled in to shit that doesn't matter to me. It just can't and never will matter to me. And I'm questioning how much time I spend thinking or researching or talking about things that have no real impact. Hey, Olive Creek Squad, fuck you. It's a ridiculous thing to. You guys are having your downfall and your little rage out, your rage quit, your idol is falling. If you guys were the Christians you claim to be, you'd recognize that you are worshiping a false idol and act in a way that's not Christ-like. And I'm not speaking as a Christian by any, because I don't think I can claim to be one. I just know that I believe in God, and this is a fairly new concept. So give me a little grace with that. All I have is my understanding of it to help me keep going. But I just don't understand. And yeah, I guess another direction needs to be taken, because the other people that end up in your not crosshairs, but in your algorithm or in your network, or that you just can't help but see day to day, it gets so tiresome and you just end up feeling foolish. While you watch the fools, perhaps you see a reflection of yourself when you spend time with them. And I think that started to happen. This is all completely unrelated to the last episode of Stuck, which was a shit show. I can't wait to go back on there. I'm being very private and tight-lipped about what's happened in my personal life to elicit the reasoning that I had to step away, and that I'm still kind of staying very hands off with the internet. It's just, why are we going to gravitate to places that are going to bring us negativity or toxicity if it's not some form of value that we can derive from it, or at least spread as a result, you know? And why the hell do I feel the fact that Upchurch gave me his stupid little shout outs because I was trolling one of his targets at the time shouldn't make me feel indebted to be there for his downfall, you know? And that's not what I'm sitting here for. I hope he comes out of his bullshit, but he's so stuck in the bullshit without ever taking accountability or apologies. I hope this is one of the last times I have to say it. And all the little infighting, like, just look at what you're all arguing about and look what's happening in the real world. And hopefully, and just, you know what, take 24 hours or do yourself a real favor, a real solid. Take 48 hours. I dare you. I dare you to at least give yourself 2 fucking days without engaging in this social media shit, regardless of what outlet it is, be it YouTube, which, you know, you can get into the doom scrolling and then you've lost a fucking day of things you could have been, and then that is the death of all the possibility of what you could have done. And when you start to think about that, my God, there's so much regret. So just to all the familiar names that I've seen for 4 years, 4 years, same names, some new faces here and there, or mostly alt accounts. Over what? Over the drama of one quasi millionaire who is crashing and burning? Really question what you're getting out of being involved on any side of these stupid little battles. We don't need another fucking squads or this and that. We're the American people, and it's time to stand up for more just straight up American values, because they by far trump whatever little mini dramas and channel shits that are going on, where people are just have so much ego they won't stop going after somebody else. All right, so it's a lot of reflecting I'm doing here. Twisted, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't think I can ever say I'm truly going to stop, because it's in my fucking algorithm unless I change this damn channel. And trust me, I have a couple of times recently been thinking about making a brand new one in secret. But I don't know. I'm an open book right now, folks. I guess ACAL was live. I can't. I'm. It appears, everybody, I am falsely in your algorithm. Okay, I don't belong here because I'm struggling too damn much to like the very music of this side of the algorithm. It's just too much effort. I'll tell you this though, I do respect Adam Calhoun's fighting back of the cancel culture that is being enacted, like some little troll that he dots the name. I mean, it's public information, but he can no longer criticize Upchurch now because he did the same thing. But to his credit, the guy is literally going after his money, which is an attack on his family, you know. So he's been canceled in Fort Worth, Texas, and other areas. I don't know if the war tour is going to be in Florida, but by God, I would go to the concert just for the sake of being there and the ambiance and missing going to concerts. Why am I even going on a diatribe about ACAL? Oh, well, just to point out that he was live, or maybe is still live. Almost 7,000 people that he's talking to. And I'm proud that he's used the platform in the means that he has. And that's one thing you can't ever say about Upchurch. I don't think he's ever talked to the bigger picture unless it was to benefit him and his own algorithm relevance and sales of like singular songs, or like, look, his whole antics. And if I even start thinking about it, it's going to give me a headache and annoy me, and I'm going to start just going on an endless diatribe. Upchurch, I think you're probably, and this is coming from somebody comparatively to you. I'm an indigent, poor motherfucker compared to you, Mr. Upchurch, but you've still deigned my attention with yours. You have clipped up my own stupid little live streams and put them in yours. And me, you treat me like the big bad boogeyman when you're the one with the 3 million subscribers and a fucking narcissistic ego that anybody would have give a run for their money, or that I don't think anybody could give a run for their money. And you get so butthurt that you'll literally come into here and just chastise me whenever you hear I'm saying something negative. And my God, what does that say about you? And any of your accomplishments, they mean nothing if the way you act, the way you're acting right now, is as it is. I'm doing a disservice to this title. Probably going to change it. This was supposed to be in strict remembrance to some degree. I went on kind of a manic rant regarding the first case that I felt that was going to be the first challenge for me to stay off of social media. You know, I already felt that urge, this new impulse that is not natural, to see, oh God, what are they spewing at each other now? Let me find the train wreck. I gotta see the train wreck. That's what this fucker represents to me. And that's why I turned it off for like 3 days. 3 days I turned my phone off and I stayed off of this fucking computer. And then I turn it back on, and these two back-to-back heinous acts happen that are highly political, highly polarized, and just how quickly they become politicized. How many people I'm seeing dog the innocent woman because of the color of her skin. This is why we still need voices like Charlie Kirk. And if the left thinks that they're gonna make any progress, what's up, Zaev Zar? Respect, brother. Check out the memorial tribute video. I sure will. Red Pill Quest for Truth. A name I've seen around here for some time. It's good to see you. We need Charlie Kirks, but now like this has set a whole new dangerous precedent here. And I really hope that what I'm seeing on my social media accounts, that this is some delusion that the left does not act on, does not keep pressing. Your mockery and this flamboyance that you all are presenting, even knowing that, like, I'm a phone call away from some of you motherfuckers. I don't understand some of the unhinged total rants and takes or memes that you think are clever. Let me see. I'm not sharing screens here. Let me just hit the home page and see how many. Yep, here we go. Oh, Bobby, buddy. What the fuck? I'm so tired of your shit, man. I've been tired of your shit for a long time. I've invited this guy to come and speak to me publicly, debate, or whatever. Always no, always some excuse. So, all right, he's been for 2 straight hours, nonstop posting, shit posting, Charlie Kirk. And let me see his opening line here. I'm a very empathetic person. And then he's got a meme below it, by the way. Another attempt to justify Kirk's sudden taking away. You can't write this stuff. You can't make this up. I wish it was fiction. So he's got a whole diatribe here. What do we got? If you have not noticed, please, Bobby, enlighten me. You piece of shit. Over the last 1.65 decades, 1.65, okay, of being strongly politically active on Facebook, I've expressed concerns and overwhelmed at the many things happening in school pews, attacks on citizens, attacks on our capital. This man was the least empathetic and pure Republican mindset. The dude just died today, and you've been on a tangent for 2 hours. Pure Republican mindset and least bipartisan or bust person you would ever meet. Yeah, he had what's called foundation and vindication in his opinions that he did pretty well articulating and shutting down people like you, my dearest old friend. I haven't forgotten some of the fuckery of our old days and how I used to want to wring your fucking neck after a certain prank call with you and an old best friend of mine. Somehow we dodged that one. But this, what are you doing here, man? What are you doing? So you're going on to say he and his ilk have desensitized us all. If you are blaming somebody else for the state in which you feel and or act like solely him, you are the snowflake that you all like shun that word away. You're such a fucking limp, frail, limp dick fucking snowflake. His words affected you and desensitized you? Oh, boo-hoo, Bobby. Jesus, age quiet. Again, I blaspheme, I know. I'm new to this and I'm human. I can't change overnight. Look at what you're doing. Man, you are trying to, again, 2 hours now or more. Nothing but meme after meme after meme and a stupid rant of, to justify your opinion to everybody else. That's all this could be. It's insecurity. You don't have the foundation and the vindication that Charlie Kirk did when he spoke, at the level at which he spoke, to how many people he spoke to. You can do this from the comfort of your keyboard and your computer, because you can kind of rein in and accept which challengers that want to present opposite opinions because I see how people roll on social media. That it's not just this one old buddy of mine. This is social media in a nutshell. Just being behind a keyboard for too long, you get too emboldened and you start to buy your own bullshit. Oh, he has the nerve to say again, no hate. So desensitized. You're blaming Charlie Kirk for that. Okay. He desensitized us to all these horrible shootings so much by saying the Second Amendment is above all this, and empathy after a shooting is a made up word for new age politics. Again, no hate, you idiot. Your entire breed here, your brand, your ideology is predicated on a hatred for people that don't think like you. You're big on the trans rights thing, and you and I clashed often on that. And you'd call me hateful, unaccepting, your big call outs. And then when I'd go to like message you, and when the back and forth would get so just not so much in your favor, or I'd say, let's talk it out. And then you just say, no, you know what? Agree to disagree, right? Well, here's you agreeing to disagree while you dance on a man's grave for your echo chambers to give you your attaboys, right? How many hearts you got? What, only 4 likes, my old friend? Sending oh no's and anyways. The responses are worse. Let me see his closing. Again, no hate and purely feel terrible for his family. Sure you do. But Republicans can have this one. The 2 kids in Colorado that were shot and completely overshadowed deserve our attention today too. We lost sensitivity to empathy. Okay. Well, that's so caring of my dear lefty friends. 7 minutes ago, dude, how do people that are on the internet as long as like some YouTubers on as long as they are like Facebook and shit like that? It's wild to me. Holy shit, angels. It's good to see you. Those of you that red pill, thank you for even staying. This started in the 60s. Drew, you ain't fucking kidding. I mean, I think this is as old as time. At least division optics and the facts of the matter. I think I'm gonna power down and try to stay disconnected because this is not a net positive overall. I don't feel maybe I feel a little better saying some of the things that I just want to say because naturally I feel like I am a speaker and I need to say what I'm feeling. It didn't build up like some urge, but I will say if here, the left can take this one if they ever want to say, yeah, I felt a little triggered at seeing so many of you laugh at this man's death, his murder. Yeah, I felt triggered, and I felt like I definitely wanted to say a few things. So you got me there. Shep, I'll be sending a message to the squad, the only squad that I care for. Fuck all the other cults out there. They got their Kool-Aid filled. Too much sugar is my concern. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to have some chamomile tea. God bless. Take care. Please. It's okay to be patriotic. It's okay to want to see better in your country, but not call it progressivism. I don't even know if I want to bear that part of the name in my name anymore. I don't want to rage bait people to come to this channel. I don't want to give any false merit to. Maybe it's something that somewhat identifies the journey of which I made. But I don't know. It's something I got to think about because at this point, there's nobody that represents that progressive part of Progressive Patriot that I feel truly represents something honorable. And that's a sad fact that I feel in my heart. It's damn right twisted it has. It really has. For America and those of us that are just going through whatever and that may be a little bit more receptive to events, and this was quite an event in and of itself. I can't believe nobody's in custody. And I just saw for the first time, because the news is on in the background, this shot was taken from 520 feet away. Can anybody give me a real-time answer? Was there is that a rifle, do you think? It doesn't, to me, by looking at the map that was just on that screen out there, doesn't look like a small arms fire shot. 520 feet. They better catch somebody, because I mean there should be hell to pay, and if there's an example to be made, well, we got 2 in 2 days. That is too much. America, we are going through too much, too much. There's some shit that's hit on a level that has affected my personal life as a direct result of the government, and now I'm a little mixed up about that too. And that's something I will elaborate on my next live, since I feel very transparent. Oh God, Pat, that's a reminder right there. That's right. This is September. My birthday is coming up soon, but tomorrow is September 11th. So that's always like a stain that when my birthday, the first day of the month rolls up for me on this month, that's the first thing I think about is 9/11 instead of my birthday. That's not, please don't feel bad for me, but if anything, remembrance, we got a lot to process. I don't know what to say. All right. Good night. God bless. Take care. Appreciate you all, one and all.